Hello everybody and welcome back to the Fortress of Solitude. Today we're going to be talking about Supergirl issue 13, written and drawn by Sophie Campbell, with colours by Tamara Bonvillain and letters by Becca Carey. Team Thunder take the fight to the Black Flame as Kara tries to get Black Flame's followers to safety, warning them that this is going to get worse. After busting out the ice she was frozen solid into, she grabs Black Flame, demanding that she stop this, since she'll kill Team Thunder if she continues her rampage. The villain though understands that and knows that this is the point and doesn't care, blasting one of the masked heroes with her heat vision. Kara is also dealing with the fact that she is still cyborg and her body isn't cooperating since she can't keep up with the flying villains. She watches Black Flame's battle cause huge destruction across the city, and since she can't join them in the battle in the sky, she decides to help the people out on the ground, protecting families from falling debris. I'm liking the Cyborg Supergirl plotline here, and it's kind of making her work smarter when dealing with threats and also shifting things up to where she's got to save the people first and tackle the threat in a less direct way than she would usually fight. We saw that in the issue when she arrived in Kandor to defeat Black Flame, and she immediately tried to attack, and that cost her basically her life and turned her into a cyborg. It also keeps her in that really frustrating position of where the Science Council did save her from what Black Flame did to her by pushing her off that tower, but also she knows what the Council are doing with Team Thunder and how that is wrong. So she wants to help out both sides. She wants to help out Lesla too, and it's clear she's torn from how to deal with this problem since it's not as black and white as she thought it was. Kara decides if she can't stop Black Flame or Team Thunder, she's just going to help the people and warn Lesla of the Science Council and how they are coming to kill her. Kara races towards Lesla's Tower of Zon, taking in the sight of the decimated Kandor and how it reminds her of Argo City. She becomes sad since with all the Kryptonian art and architecture and culture around there, it makes her nostalgic for her homeworld. Putting the memories to the back of her mind, she focuses herself and heads into the tower, evading Black Flame's followers since she doesn't want to have to hurt them or even kill them, since she isn't too sure what the cybernetic systems in her body will do to them if they end up in combat. As she climbs the tower, she begins to have doubts on if she should even do this and help Lesla after everything that has happened, but quickly stops herself from spiraling since she has a responsibility and will always give Lesla another chance at redemption. Kara always wanting to help, no matter the situation she or the other person she's trying to help in, is fantastic. It's like what I was saying before, when she realizes that she can't help one way, she'll try a different way, and that's the key, always trying to find a way to help and move forward and wanting to give someone a chance to do the right thing. It's a very Superman family thing, and it's something that Campbell uses to great effect. Down in the city, the Black Flame violently rips the control collars off Thunder Kid, wanting to see if the implants in them give them their powers. The collarless Thunder Kid falls to his death as Flame tries to convince the remaining Team Thunder members to join her, since they shouldn't live their lives as Science Council goons. But Team Thunder continue their attack, blasting the villain with their laser beams. Flame dodges the blasts, figuring that they are clones or robots, but whatever they are brainwashed by the Council, and they probably don't even understand why they are doing this or why they want to kill her. She continues to rip the implants out of Team Thunder, telling them that they'll need to learn how things work. Thundergirl is the last left alive, told by Black Flame that the Council don't respect her and they will just churn through people, clone them, copy them, and do it all over again like it's nothing. Again, I really like what Black Flame is saying here, since it's true. It's making so much sense. She's right about the Council. They have become too entrenched and stubborn in their ways, and how they will send younger people off to just die for them, and it will amount to nothing. But they don't care because they'll just keep doing it. They're happy where they are. It's everyone else's problem now, and that's something that's very real in real life too, with older and younger generation. Thundergirl tosses her mask away, asking Black Flame why they would do that, and the villain knows they're finally getting somewhere, and she's finally asking the right questions. Elsewhere in the city, Superboy and Lena search for Supergirl, using Connor's tactile telekinesis in lieu of his Kryptonian powers, which don't work at all in the bottled city. Lena can't get a hold of Kara via her communicator, asking why Connor let her go down into Kandor all alone. Connor admits that he didn't realize that things were this bad in the city, and there was actually a lot going on up in the real world as well. The duo spot Black Flame and Thundergirl, and Connor calls out to her, asking about Supergirl and ignoring what Lena says about them maybe being the bad guys. Lena, of course, is right, and Black Flame blasts Connor and Lena out of the sky as she tells them that Supergirl ran off out of the city to cry somewhere. I said last issue, I really like the sort of brother-sister duo of Lena and Connor. You know, they technically are siblings, being that Connor is a clone derivative from Lex Luthor and Lena is Lex's biological daughter. And I like that Campbell has paired them together, and we kind of get that dynamic between them. They're kind of uneasy brother and sister. They don't particularly like each other, just kind of put up with each other. I like what we've been getting from them, and I think that now that they're in Kandor, I hope we're getting a bit more of them in the story as well, since their story was kind of just sort of separated from everything, and now it's kind of getting involved. It also is making the story kind of live up to the whole reign of the Superboy's name, which is what this issue and what this series has now been part of for the last couple of issues, the reign of the Superboys. We have a Superboy in the book now, so it makes sense. Black Flame tries to deduce who these people are, figuring they are related to Supergirl thanks to the House of L symbol on Connor's chest. She asks about the type of powers Connor wields, as he shows her the telekinetic field up close, smashing her in the face with a giant telekinetic fist construct. Black Flame thinks that his powers are dumb, hitting Connor in the face and causing him to lose grip on Lena, who plummets towards the ground as Thundergirl watches. Now this is the moment Thundergirl decides to become a hero, I think. She, you know, the way the page is set up, it kind of makes me think that she's swooped down and gotten Lena in the last minute, and we won't learn that until the next issue. I can't see her letting an innocent die, especially after, you know, all the turmoil she's experienced and the stuff that Kara said to her last issue about not wanting to be a lapdog, and then also what Black Flame has been saying as well about not wanting to be someone's goon, be your own person. I'm intrigued to see what they're going to do with the Thundergirl character, because I have to assume they're going to stick around for at least a little bit. Like, I could see her being the leader of the next generation of the Science Council, like taking over the positions of all of these older characters and helping the younger generation to actually, you know, thrive or something, you know, without using what Black Flame was using, which is violence. I could see that being the case. It would be a very interesting story for her, being she's a clone. I think that would be really interesting. I wonder as well if she's going to have a story with Superboy, being that they are both clones. There could be some sort of thing there where Superboy is able to impart some wisdom into what he's experienced in life as a clone to her, who's new at experiencing life as a clone. Kara, meanwhile, catches up to Lesla, who is shocked at what the council has done to Supergirl. Kara doesn't have time for that, telling her about Team Thunder coming for her and they need to get her to safety. Lesla tries to figure out why Kara came back for her, but figures that it is what a hero would do, hoping that she can bring some of her super substance science scouts with her, wanting to keep them safe. Kara is introduced to Grab and Melt, two of Lesla's creations that the Black Flame doesn't consider to be people, but instruments in her war with the Science Council, but Lesla does not believe that at all. Kara just wants to know why Lesla threw in with the Black Flame, since everything she is doing is wrong. Lesla reveals that this is just how it's always been and how Zora is, and she can't ever stand up to her cousin, not even when they were kids, and just being around someone that's so charismatic and capable was intoxicating to her. She kept falling into it over and over again. I really like this framing here with Lesla and Kara kind of bonding over the dynamic they have with their cousins, and how it's like a mirror opposite, where Kara does feel like she's in her cousin's shadow, but Superman isn't doing that intentionally. It's just, you know, what comes with being Superman. He's not deliberately making sure that she is in the background or anything. And she still has insecurities about all of that sort of stuff. And you see it with Lesla, where she's in the background, but Zora or Black Flame is deliberately doing that. There's a toxic relationship aspect to that there. And I thought that was really interesting. And I hope that's something that Campbell dives into a little bit more. We kind of get hints of it here with Kara's line about how she knows about being in the shadow of a cousin. I really like that idea when they bring that up with Supergirl, how she thinks she's in the shadow of her cousin, when he doesn't really mean for that to happen. It's just because of the whole Superman persona is so much larger than everyone around him. Some really interesting ways you can go with that, and I'm really grateful that Campbell has broached that subject in this issue. She's done it a couple of times throughout a couple of different arcs in this book, and I always like she comes back to it and has something else to add to it. Kara gets Lesla and her creations moving as Lesla apologizes and wishes things could go back to the way they were before. Kara snaps at her, wanting her to shut up so they can focus on getting out of there, before quickly apologizing since she's exhausted, but Lesla needs to realize that this is how things change, and they can't reminisce on how things were, since Kandor never got the chance to be what it should be. It was ripped from the ground before it had the chance to be that, and she needs Leslie to channel all of this she has inside of her into something good. Leslie agrees to try, but she needs to show Kara something very important before they do anything else. Giving her bunny candy to the science creations, Leslie takes Kara down into the depths of the tower, heading down below the ruins of old Kandor. Exploring the ancient ruins, Leslie reveals that she explored every inch of the Tower of Zon when Zora made it her headquarters, and she found that most of the old tunnels and buildings are filled with salvageable technology that she's been able to use in her inventions. She takes Kara into a bunker, revealing another bottled city in a stasis chamber. Kara thinks that she recognizes it as Leslie activates the controls for a microwave tunnel. The two women head through the microwave tunnel and into the bottled city, which Kara soon recognizes is Argo City, her home. Argo City making a comeback here right at the end of the issue was not something I expected, but I think this is the path to getting Kara back to normal. And I'm sure she's gonna find something in here, maybe in like her father's old lab or something that will turn her back into a normal Supergirl. And I'm intrigued to see like what the implications are here with, oh, we have Kandor and now we have Argo City. And Argo City is a bottled city in Kandor. That's really trippy. That's really damn cool. And like, how did it get here? Like, how did Leslie find this? This is all such an interesting mystery that Campbell has left us on, and I really want to know in the next issue. Supergirl issue 13 was another fun issue from Sophie Campbell, filled with a lot of action as Kara tries to help out someone in need. I really liked getting to learn a little bit more about Leslie and the Black Flame's history and relationship together right from their childhood, and how it's always been kind of a toxic relationship. And also how Kara relates to it by the fact that she's always in her cousin's shadow, much like Leslie is in hers. Exploring Kara living in Clark's shadow is always something I found very interesting about the Superman-Supergirl dynamic. It can be very difficult to handle, but I think Sophie Campbell gets it really well, and that there's no animosity between the two of them. It's just something that Kara doesn't really like and wants to be her own person and finds it very hard to. And I like how we're exploring that between her and Leslie and the villain. I think it's really interesting what they're doing with all of these characters. The inclusion of Argo City there at the end is quite a big revelation for Kara. I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen with that. And I really love the fact that Superboy and Lena are getting involved more in the story through this issue. Their dynamic has been very fun across the last couple of issues. It's a great brother and sister dynamic and something that we never really got to see, and I'm glad that Campbell is exploring that with these characters. I'm going to give this issue an 8 out of 10.